longitude and latitude lines on the Earth form a grid system which has been used by geographers for centuries to define locations on Earth by referencing their particular coordinates in longitude and latitude. Latitude lines are often referred to as lines of parallel, as each latitude refers to an angular measurement between the equator and the poles. Thus, all points on the Earth 10 degrees north of the equator make a circle about the Earth known as 10 degrees north latitude. All points 20 degrees north of the equator make a circle about the Earth known as 20 degrees north latitude. And the 20-degree circle is parallel to the 10-degree circle. On this latitude grid, there are 5 great circles that have astronomical significance. We have already mentioned one, the equator. The other 4 are the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, and the Arctic and Antarctic circles. Let's start at the middle and work our way from there as we discuss these 5 great circles of the Earth. Earth's equator is located at 0 degrees latitude and cuts the Earth into an equal northern and southern hemisphere. While there are many geographical and climatological significances to the equator, there is one very special astronomical connection to the equator. Each year, on the March and September equinox dates, the sun rises and sets on the eastern and western horizon respectively, directly above the equator. And during the day on the equinox dates, the sun's daily path across the sky will keep it directly above the equator. No other location on Earth can boast to have this special connection with the sun's path across the daytime sky. About 23.5 degrees north of the equator is the great latitude circle known as the Tropic of Cancer. While the precise latitude measurement of this line does change over time, it is safe to say that the Tropic of Cancer lies approximately 23.5 degrees north of the equator. The astronomical significance of this measurement should be apparent to anyone who understands the causes of the changing seasons on Earth. Earth's equator is inclined or tilted about 23.5 degrees off Earth's orbital plane. What's so special about the Tropic of Cancer? The answer has to do with the ability to see the sun directly overhead when the sun is at its zenith or highest point in the sky. The Tropic of Cancer marks the most northerly latitude on Earth, where the sun can be seen directly overhead when it is at the zenith or highest point of the sky. The equivalent latitude line 23.5 degrees south of the equator is known as the Tropic of Capricorn. Any point between these two extremes will experience 2 days a year where the sun will be directly overhead when it is at its zenith. No location on Earth outside of these 2 great circles will ever see the sun directly overhead. On the tropics, the sun will be directly overhead only on the solstice dates. On the June solstice date, the sun, at its zenith, will be directly overhead on the Tropic of Cancer. On the December solstice date, the sun, at its zenith, will be directly overhead on the Tropic of Capricorn. The names of these tropics come from their respective constellations. 3,000 years ago, the sun was in the constellation of Cancer on the June solstice, and in the constellation of Capricorn on the December solstice. This is no longer the case due to the precession of the equinoxes, but that's a discussion best left for another time. The last 2 great circles of latitude on the Earth are the Arctic and Antarctic circles. The Arctic Circle is in the extreme northern hemisphere near the North Pole, and the Antarctic Circle is in the extreme southern hemisphere near the South Pole. Can you guess how many degrees away from their respective poles each of these circles lie? That's right, 23.5 degrees. The Arctic Circle is approximately 23.5 degrees south of the North Pole, or at latitude 66.5 degrees north. And the Antarctic Circle is approximately 23.5 degrees north of the South Pole, or at latitude 66.5 degrees south. The astronomical significance of these 2 circles also has to do with the position of the sun. During Northern Hemisphere summer, an observer at the North Pole will see 24 hours of sunlight every day, from the March equinox to the September equinox. The sun simply appears to move in a circle around the horizon, getting a little higher in the sky from the March equinox date to the June solstice date, then dropping lower in the sky from the June solstice to the September equinox. At the South Pole, an observer would see the sun circle the horizon on the September equinox date and would experience 24 hours of daylight every day until the March equinox date of the following year. So, at the poles, we have 6-month periods where we see the sun continuously. As we move farther away from the poles, that number of 24-hour daylight days decreases. Practically speaking, there are several days before and after the solstice dates where part of the sun will still be visible all night long. But it is on the Arctic and Antarctic circles that there is only one day a year when the entire disk of the sun is visible for a 24-hour period, the June solstice in the north and the December solstice in the south. Join us next time for another Your World in a Minute from Starlight Express.